Rainbow Bridge is considered one of the world's largest known natural bridges, stretching an impressive 275 feet across and standing proudly at a towering 290 feet tall. The majestic sandstone arch stands as a symbol of time's artistic brushstrokes, carved by the forces of nature over countless millennia. If you want to see this wonder of the American Southwest, then you need to plan for a full-day adventure, as it's over 100 miles of boating just to get there. Here's our trip to the Rainbow Bridge, and let us know what questions you have in the comments. We left Los Angeles on a Friday and drove 8.5 hours to Page, Arizona. They only offer this tour one day per week in the winter, and so we had to plan our entire Arizona trip around it. We stayed in Page the night before and then arrived to Lake Powell Resort and Marina early to check in for our tour. This is a beautiful spot with great views and an amazing place to see the sunrise. We took a tour in the winter and there was only 8 people on our boat, and they said that in the summer there can easily be over 100. There was a short shuttle that took us down to the boat dock, and then we checked in with our captain, got on our boat, got the safety demonstration, and set out.
All boarded and ready to go.
The boat was incredibly comfortable with such a small amount of people. Basically everybody got their own row or multiple rows if they wanted. The boat left promptly at the tour time, and we went slow for about the first 30 minutes as it's a no-wake zone. They also had water, lemonade, and coffee waiting for us, and you could have as much as you wanted as you were making your way out. While we were going slow, you could walk up to the top of the boat, and then you had to come back in when we sped up, but of course you know I was on top of the boat as much as I possibly could.
And it is hard to beat this morning. We got the sunrise, the water is glass, and we got 2.5 hours to get to Rainbow Bridge.
For a little understanding of where we're going, this map shows the 50-mile route that we take from the boat launch to Rainbow Bridge. We continued to go slow for the first 15 minutes before we passed the turnoff for the Glen Canyon Dam and were able to go faster.
All right, here we go. Next stop, Rainbow Bridge, in a few hours.
I just expected this to be a long boat ride, but one of the things I was immediately shocked by was how beautiful the area was. The water was so smooth, and with the reflections, the sandstone cliffs around us, and the sunrise, it's something I'll never forget. Our captain was a wealth of knowledge, having explored the Lake Powell area and ran tours for almost 25 years. He showed us lots of points of interest along the way and was able to answer any of the questions that we had. My dad spent most of the entire ride just sitting up there talking to him. As we went deeper into our trip, the views continued to get better and better, with staggering rock formations on all sides of us. As I was going through this section, it almost felt like I was in Monument Valley, but instead of driving in a car, I was on a boat. In case you're not familiar with Lake Powell, it was actually created when the Glen Canyon Dam was built in 1966, and it is relatively controversial. The dam was created for flood control, but of course it actually filled up the Glen Canyon area as well. Our guide had a computer that showed us the original layout of the Colorado River hundreds of feet below us. It would have been incredible to see this canyon with just the Colorado River flowing through it. One of the most amazing features that we saw on the way out was called Gregory's Butte. Our guide stopped for a few minutes and went slow, allowing us to take pictures of it and of the surrounding area. It was probably the highlight of the Lake Powell boat ride for me. About 30 minutes after that, we finally made it to the mouth of the canyon that was going to take us to Rainbow Bridge National Monument. I will say, if you come out here with a private boat, be sure to know where you're going, as I would easily get lost, and there was only a tiny sign to note that we were entering the National Monument. As we turned into the canyon where Rainbow Bridge is located, everybody got out of the boat and went up to the top deck. This canyon is stunning, and the water was glass, just reflecting the mountains and cliffs around us. Our guides pointed out many different formations in the rocks and told us lots of the area's history. There was even a cave they pointed out that used to be a place where people would have stayed when traveling through the canyon before it was flooded. Everyone was in awe of this area, and there were so many bends and offshoots that led into smaller canyons connected to it. Eventually, the dock came into view and we had to go back down to our seats in order to dock the boat.
Heading back down to dock at Rainbow Bridge.
All right, we made it to the dock for Rainbow Bridge. Pops is taking his sweet time back there, but now we're starting the 1 mile hike up to the bridge itself. Also note that in the summer, they said there could be 50 to 60 boats here and 140 people on the tour. So this is definitely a time to come. There's 8 of us, no one else around. It's gonna be a pretty amazing time at the bridge.
Here we come. Come on, hop along. What's taking you so long over there?
After my dad finally stopped asking questions of the captain and got off the boat, we started the 2 mile round trip hike to Rainbow Bridge. There's a good chance that if you go here, the hike may be different as the water level determines where you get to start from. Back in early 2023, the water level was so low that they couldn't even get out here at all to do this tour. So we were lucky to be able to go and we could actually access the bridge. This is a massive canyon and it's cool to just be walking through this by itself. First view of Rainbow Bridge. You can see where the dock has been, but there's obviously no water to bring a boat all the way up here. After getting our first view of Rainbow Bridge, my adrenaline was pumping to get there and see it.
Rainbow Bridge right there. It's easy to see how big the canyon is when you see him down there.
As we continued closer to Rainbow Bridge, you could see how the water level had dropped over the years, with a section that even had a random paved path as we made it closer. Our guide told us that he could remember 2 times in the last 25 years where the water was actually underneath the bridge itself. Wow, that is so massive. I've seen pictures of this before, but it feels way bigger in person.
Just for a sense of scale, do you see the person right here?
That is how big this bridge is. It is gigantic. Once we rounded the bend, we reached the official Rainbow Bridge National Monument sign and the small overhanging they had to get out of the sun on the hot summer days. Rainbow Bridge sits at 290 feet tall and 275 feet across. It is one of the largest natural bridges in the entire world and was dedicated a national monument in 1910.
We made it to Rainbow Bridge National Monument, one of the largest natural bridges in the world.
This bridge is absolutely epic. One of the most beautiful things I've seen, I think. We've been to arches, as you guys know from the videos, but this is just absolutely incredible.
I've been wanting to see this place for years, and it absolutely lived up to expectations. It's way cooler than I thought. Pops has been wanting to see it for about 2 days since I told him we were going, and it lived up to his expectations too.
I want to be on Lake Powell, but this is just amazing. This is incredible.
The bridge is a sacred religious site to the Navajo Nation, and because of that, you are not able to walk underneath it. They have created a path that allows you to go up the small hill to the left of the bridge and then go down the other side so that you can see it from a different angle. Do note that this path is a little bit steep with a drop off on one side. It's hard to think of more beautiful views in the American Southwest than this. After about 5 to 10 minutes of hiking, you'll come down on the other side of the bridge, which is the official end of the trail. This is a full day adventure, but wow, is it incredible. We were given an hour and a half with 30 minutes each way for hiking and 30 minutes to hang out at the bridge, so we spent a little bit more time just taking in all of the different views. Don't leave without finding this dinosaur print, which is right here at the base of the arch.
Pop's holding up the whole group, last person to leave the arch.
I'm the one who's enjoying it the most.
You can't take him anywhere.
Enjoying it the most.
All right, that's it for our time at Rainbow Bridge. We will see you on the next one, and here's some more clips of what the beautiful lake looks like on the way back. I hope you enjoyed going on this journey with us. I definitely recommend you get out here and see this place for yourself. Of course, the bridge is a huge highlight, but the tour along the lake is also pretty incredible. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we will see you on the next one.